For years, Apple convinced everyone that software could outperform real camera hardware, and now they're quietly walking that claim back. Apple is reportedly preparing one of the most complicated camera systems ever put into a smartphone, not as a bold leap forward, but as damage control. Because computational photography, the very thing they pushed as the future, has clearly started to show cracks. Let's be honest, iPhone photos haven't looked natural in years. They look processed, over-sharpened, sometimes even artificial. Skin tones get flattened, shadows get crushed, highlights feel forced. At first glance, everything pops, but zoom in and the illusion breaks. This isn't photography, it's heavy-handed editing done instantly by software, and users are starting to notice. The root of the problem is simple. Fixed aperture lenses. No matter the situation, harsh sunlight or low-light environments, the lens stays the same. It doesn't adapt. So Apple kept pushing software harder and harder to compensate. And now they've hit a ceiling. You can't fake physics forever. That's where this rumored variable aperture system comes in. And while it sounds impressive on paper, the reality is far less glamorous. Apple isn't introducing something new. They're catching up to what real cameras have been doing for decades. A lens that physically opens and closes depending on light. That's not revolutionary, that's basic photography. Yes, a variable aperture will improve low-light shots. It will allow more light in when needed and tighten up in bright conditions. But let's not pretend this is some magical breakthrough. This is Apple finally admitting that software alone couldn't deliver the results they promised. It's a correction, not a revolution. Portrait photography is another area where this change exposes Apple's struggles. For years, they relied on software blur to simulate depth of field. And it shows. Edges get messy, hair looks cut out, and backgrounds bleed into subjects. It's passable, but never truly convincing. With a variable aperture, that blur becomes optical, not artificial. Which sounds great until you realize it took them this long to fix something that competitors and traditional cameras handled ages ago. Then there's the manufacturing side, and it's not pretty. Reports suggest Apple is working with suppliers like Sunny Optical and LG Innotek to build these tiny moving components, but the process is so complex that some suppliers reportedly backed out entirely. That's not a sign of confidence, it's a sign of risk. When production itself becomes a problem, you're not looking at a polished upgrade, you're looking at a potential reliability headache waiting to happen. And of course, none of this comes cheap. Apple isn't absorbing the cost, they're passing it directly to you. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is expected to push prices even higher, possibly starting around $1,299 or more for a feature that should have existed years ago. Meanwhile, the standard models will likely be left behind again, widening the gap even further. What's worse is how this will be presented. During the keynote, Apple will dress this up as a bold leap forward. They'll talk about pro-level photography and next-generation optics, but strip away the language, and it's clear they're fixing their own limitations. So no, this isn't the future arriving early. It's Apple arriving late. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.